Good evening, welcome back. Tonight I'm doing something a little bit different. I've got a 2015 Ford Mondeo with me. This car belongs to a friend of mine. And the car has recently, in the last couple of weeks, been to a local garage, Ford specialist, for an MOT. There was a few noises going on. They already knew about a couple of minor issues before the MOT. Put it in for its test, and basically it came out with a £600 bill, and which was not expected. But it is what it is, you know. It's getting on a little bit. 9-year-old, 100 and something thousand miles on it. You expect to spend a little bit of money on your car. It's not a problem. However, 2 weeks later, the car is with me and has a rattle on the rear suspension. Now I'm led to understand that this rattle was present before the MOT, and it should have failed. If something's rattling, that means there's excessive play somewhere, and it should fail the MOT. But it didn't. It failed on other things that, in my opinion, were not important, as they were advisories on the MOT, not actual failures. But the garage pushed the customer into having them fixed, without necessarily fully explaining the situation. Anyway, that's by the by. So we're here now with suspension rattle. The customer doesn't really trust the garage because they've just spent £600 and it's still making a rattling noise. So let's have a look underneath, see what we can see if we can sort it out. So here we are. This is the offside rear suspension. Took the car for a little drive. I'm pretty confident I know what it is. Just slip it under here. You hear that? It's a pretty horrible noise. That is the shock absorber, and all I'm doing there is I'm wiggling the shock absorber in the top mount. So I think the top mount has actually failed and letting the shock absorber rattle around. It's really bad, but luckily not hard to change. I've got the parts. We've got shock absorbers and genuine Ford top mounts for both the left and the right. So let's get it jacked up, let's get the wheels off, let's get them changed. There we go, wheels off. We can see clearly now just what is wrong. You can actually see the shock absorber, top of the shock absorber. Dancing around when I wiggle that. Definitely should have been an MOT fail. Right, so we've got 2 bolts up here and Down there we've got 2 more bolts going up over. I'll support the spring with the trolley jack, just so the spring doesn't jump off. We'll get that out and we'll get the new ones in. Okay, so we've got a 18mm socket for the top here. Quite tight then. Slacken the other one before we get too far. Go. Oh, Jesus, you can see how loose that is. That is definitely the rattling noise. There we go. One shock absorber out with the top mount. Not quite sure which bit's failed there. Probably the top mount. But we've got new ones, so we'll replace the whole lot. Okay, here we are. Got the old shock absorber in the vise. Looking at it properly, it is actually the top mount that's failed. Inside here, there's like a rubber bush, which I think in this one has dropped to pieces, letting the centre come away from the outside, giving us that movement along the shaft. So there's a few things we need off of here. I need this bump stop. Need this bump stop and this dust cover, as the new shockers don't come with that. So just need the nut on. Use the last bits of the WD-40. And find that we've got the wrong socket out. Try again. There we go. I can't actually see very well there, but I'm pretty confident that that rubber piece is all dropped to bits. There we go, that's the piece we need. Okay, so dust cover on. New top mount on, new nut. I'm going to have to clamp this in here, clamp it high up, so that means that if we do leave any burrs on this damper rod here, it won't actually get inside the damper and cause any damage. So there's nothing wrong with using that method. So there now, that is absolutely solid. Push that up into there. There we go. One new shock absorber and top mount assembly ready to be fitted back onto the car. Right, fitment is just the opposite of removal. So I'll get this in position. In there. Line the two holes up. And the bottom two. Okay, there we go. Two top bolts tight, two lower bolts tight. Cap on there to stop the nothing getting weathered. And that is the offside done. I'm pretty confident that is the rattle now fixed. If we give this a shake, there is no movement at all in that new top mount and shock. Let's do the other side. So there we go guys, another one done. Rear shocks and a Mark 5 Mondeo. Not a bad job really. 2 bolts at the top, 2 bolts at the bottom, shock out. Swap the dust cover over, new one in, brand new Ford top mounts. Job done. If you like the video, please do give me a like and subscribe. Follow me for more. I've got some interesting things coming up. Keep watching. Thanks.